Live. You're listening to Live with Men, the podcast.
This is Men, the podcast. Karibu tena, na by the time unaisikia hii episode, I hope you've made it to 2021 alive and healthy, because 2020 was a marathon.
I think 2020 has been the best year for me and the most exhausting year for me.
I mean, you went back to school after all.
I don't know how those two go together, but yeah.
You went back to school after all. That should be something to applaud, you know? I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Pamoja na ratiba zako na mambo yako yote, you've actually managed to go back to school.
Yeah. Now I'm not standing in front. Now I'm in the crowd.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, now I'm not the lecturer, I'm the student.
Yeah. How does that feel though?
Very weird.
I know. People gonna mark your papers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. So yeah, that is Nadia Ahmed, is a therapist / counselor. Unaweza kumpata at kupitia Mind Matters TZ on Twitter and Mind Matters TZ on Instagram. Unaenda kwenye link ambayo ipo kwenye bio yake, itakupeleka moja kwa moja kwenye website yake, and then unaweza kuget in touch naye vizuri sana kwa kupitia website yake. So we are with Nadia every episode, tunayokaa na kuzungumza kuhusiana na mental health for men. So karibu sana, and let's enjoy another ride this year. Au vipi? Na tumeamua bwana kuja kuzungumzia one of the things about your I think tulikuwa tunajua kwamba lazima tuizungumzie, lakini I don't know why mpaka leo tumechelewa kuja kuzungumzia. But I think it is, ukiuliza watu kama kitu gani ambacho mnataka kusikiza from Men the podcast, watakwambia guys, let's just talk about men and cheating. As if men are the only ones who cheat.
They're not, but the podcast is all about men, so I guess it's only fair.
It's only fair. Tuzungumzie kuhusu swala la wanaume na swala zima la wanaume kucheat. So yeah. Karibu sana na leo hii bwana, tupo na the guy ambaye of course kutokana usensitive kwa swala tunalozungumzia ameamua kwamba ku maintain his privacy, kwa hiyo atatumia jina ambalo sio jina lake halisi. Kwa hiyo tutamuita bwana John. John, what's up?
I'm good, Michael. How are you, my bro?
I'm great, man. Uko poa?
Niko poa, niko freshy, niko alive.
Yeah, hopefully
2021.
Yeah, it is what it is. Kwanza, thank you for doing this, man. Thank you for doing this, kwa sababu it's not something ambacho sio rahisi kuja kuzungumzia kwa sababu ya culture na jinsi tunavyoishi na mambo ya social media yalivyo na nini. Kwa hivyo kama umeamua kusema, you know guys, let's unpack na tuzungumzie hili swala. We appreciate you for coming through na kufika hapa kwenye sehemu yetu ya kurekodia our lovely podcast.
It's okay, Mike. I mean, if my experience can help somebody else, I mean, I don't mind.
Before we get into your experience, I want to ask this. Nataka Nadia nisaidie kwanza. Why do people cheat?
Well, cheating first is a habit. Yeah, so it's something we learn to do, and it's not something that's ingrained. We can't say cheating is directly linked to, let's say, a mental health issue or mental illness or something innate. Sawa, ni tabia. Ni tabia ambayo tunajifunza along the way. Ni tabia ambayo inakuwa reinforced because labda we cheated once and we never got caught and it felt good. And so tunaenda tunajifunza kwamba, you know, it feels good, there's pleasure that I get from here, and I'm not getting caught, so there isn't any punishment. Yeah, and so the behavior just builds on. It's like any addiction. Cheating can be an addiction too. It's like any other addiction. And ina kuna element yake.
Hebu ngoja kwanza. Unavyosema cheating can be an addiction, like you might need to go to rehab for that.
Well, I'm sure there's AA, not in Tanzania. Because I've not heard of any, but there's cheaters anonymous somewhere out there in the world, because cheating happens all over the world.
Now, why is it associated with men zaidi?
Hilo swali zuri.
Kwa wanaume tunakamatwa zaidi
wanaume nadhani nyie so wajanja kama wanawake.
It's true.
You know, I think kwa sababu when we talk about cheating, we're talking about lying pia. Lazima udanganye mtu. Sasa wewe uwezo wako wa kudanganya uko wapi, you know? And according to statistic, na sina research, but according to what we're hearing, what we're seeing, a lot of the men are the ones that tunasikia men are cheating, not so much about women. Na labda itakuwa wanawake just better at lying. We're better at words, we're better at covering our steps, maybe. compared to men. Maybe at some point men get too comfortable with the cheating, and so you get caught. I'm sure there are numerous reasons why tunasikia more about men cheating compared to women cheating.
Well, if I may add,
Sure. Karibu
if I may add, I completely agree with Nadia's. Like, cheating is a habit. Au watu wengi wana mtazamo kwamba cheating is when you actually go and do the act. Me personally, naamini cheating is way more than that. Even emotional comfort is cheating. I mean, the minute I flirt with another woman and I have a woman, I am cheating. That is emotional. I am cheating. If I am, I go out in a bar and touch improperly another woman, I cheated because I had impure thoughts of another woman. Also, it is associated with men because, first of all, men are the hunters.
Natural.
Men are the ones that have to make the proposition. So sometimes a girl could be interested in the guy, but all a girl can do is insinuate, send signals, and do stuff like that. Smile at you, and she must want me, and I would go for her. But literally, that's how a girl would initiate. Very rarely a girl would actually come up to you and say, she could maybe say, "Oh, Michael, you're very smart," and all that, and you would be getting all these positive comments from a woman you're not used to, and then you're like, yeah, she probably could try it. Let me give it a shot. Okay, of course, pia dunia imebadilika. There are women who are hunters these days, like they would actually go for a guy they like, but it's mostly associated with us men because we are the one who are the hunters. That's the first thing. And then the second thing, I think, the way we are made, our bodies. I mean, for a woman to cheat, there is a lot involved. You know what I mean?
And I think this is where I was having this conversation with a certain number of women, and then wakaniambia swala our bodies, the biological setup. Akaniambia you guys, and that you know akaniambia you guys, acheni kujidanganya kwamba as men, I think most of the time tunafikiria kwamba we can actually cheat without actually having emotional connection. Kwamba ndio maana naweza kawa na kesho kutwa na yule. And then as men we think kwamba for a woman to cheat, emotions have to be involved. So tunafikiria kwamba it's easier for a man to cheat than a woman. Lakini mtu dada akaniambia you are wrong, my friend. Women can do it exactly the same way kama wanaume ambao mnaweza mkaifanya. How true is that?
Well, I think it's true, but the numbers are different.
So it
More
varies
men
individual
can
to
do it.
individual.
More men can do it that way than women.
Yeah.
Like I said, dunia imebadilika. The world is different. Yes, there are women then can have sex like men. They will just actually just come, do it, and go, and not even care about. Lakini, how many? When you're talking about men, you could be talking about all men. But when you talk about women, you could be talking about some women, not all women.
Yeah. So if we talk about sex per se, in itself, that we could link to mental health issues, mental illness. So if someone amepitia trauma throughout their life, somewhere in their life, in their childhood or early in their years, sex can be just an act. Doesn't have to have an emotional association. And hiyo ni ukweli kwa wanawake na kwa wanaume. Lakini ukiangalia naturally, without any past trauma or past any pre-existing issues, wanawake, they're cheating, or the forms of cheating, kwanza inaanza emotionally. Or let's say it starts intellectually. You start having conversations with this person that is not sio mwenza wako, sio mpenzi wako. You're not in a relationship. You're having this intellectual, let's say, conversations. You're mentally stimulating one another. For women, from mental it goes to emotional. So they start developing feelings because of the mental stimulation that they're getting, and that the emotional is what then would lead to the physical for women. Men is the other way around. So sometimes men don't cheat with the intent of getting to know you or wanting to emotionally build relationships. But for wanawake so rahisi kuenda to automatically to the physical. So for men, sometimes it works the other way around. It can start physically, and then if you keep going back for more, it can develop the emotional.
And then you get caught.
And then now, if you find that the relationship is also mentally stimulating, then That's where now you're setting yourself up to being caught, because your guard is lowered and you're just enjoying yourself in this relationship.
Guys, literally, Nadia is giving you games on how to cheat. That's what she just did. Nadia just gave a lot of guys game on how to cheat. Don't get emotionally involved. Okay, don't cheat.
Just don't cheat.
Yeah. John, I want to ask you this. Have you ever been caught?
Cheating?
Yeah.
Like caught on the act?
No. Okay, caught in the act. Okay. Have you ever been caught in the act?
Never.
But have you ever been caught cheating?
Yeah.
Tell us. Okay, how many times?
I'm a different case, Michael. I've been caught, but I've always get myself out of it somehow.
You've talked yourself out of it. But
now you're gonna be teaching people how to cheat. But let me tell you something.
We're not teaching anybody.
The first thing I do when I know that shit has hit the fan, I always make sure I find out how much she knows. Without knowing how much she knows, you're not getting out of it. Because women could come up to you with more fire and anger than details. So you just have to keep calm, push the anger and the fire on the side and get to the core. How much does she know? If she knows too much, you just gotta go on your knees and say sorry and hope the love you have for each other can be the ones that's gonna get you out of it. But if the information is hazel, I mean, you sit down, call Michael, get some advice, you probably get out of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just keep quiet and then she'll just, that's the thing about women. They have, and I think men also cheat because they know women have big heart to forgive.
Because that's what I want to ask you.
That's literally what keeps on supporting a lot of men to cheat. At least in my case, the women I've cheated on, I had less fear of being caught because I had so much confidence on how much
they loved you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that toxic though?
It's toxic, and it's what we're teaching women. Like fikiria, like in marriages, that's what we see also. Mzazi wako kabisa anakuambia fika, baba yako is doing XYZ. Lakini yuko mama aondoke, yani popote kwa popo na anaendelea kumjali.
I got introduced to my younger sister when I was in Form 3. Yeah, and my mom is like, "Unamuona pale, yule ni dada yako." Maybe she thought, because you played the day before, and she's like, that this guy is probably gonna do something stupid.
Exactly.
You should know their family. Dude, you've been bad news.
And if your DNAs are similar, you get attracted easily.
Just
wow.
Yeah, we really clicked. We really clicked.
Wow.
So the next day, she just slided in like that. Because she was like 100 meters from the house. Like, you in Dadako. I'm like, how? Mtoto babako. And she was done.
Yeah.
So it took me like a few months later. I'm like, so how is she
Related.
Yeah, they're like, babako 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Yeah, and then even my mom is my rock. She's my best friend. I mean, we've been through stuff with her maybe because of my dad, or maybe because of the family mode we had and all that. But me and my mom had that connection. So even to today, she tells me things that maybe they contribute, like stuff my dad did, and then it's not my dad, you are our tribe. Squeeze ukikaa na mtu yoyote, and like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna mention the tribe, but it's just like ukutane na mzee wa kinani hana mtoto wa nje, you understand, kuna hiyo
inakuwa kama it's a pride
like a norm.
Umeelewa?
Yeah. And our mom stayed because our dad had different women, and my mom told me about the women that we had. I mean, I remember I went to my best friend in Form 1, my best friend, like my buddy, somebody. If I had a phone, he would be the first person I would call. I mean, I would get to school and walk all the way to class just to see where my friend is at, and only realized in Form 2 that he was my brother, and he knew I didn't. I really got pissed at him. He was my friend. He was my really good friend. Like, literally, we both got moved. He moved to another school. I moved to another school. Because we got to go kwenye government school, and we went to private schools. And then I remember him looking for me when I was in Form 3 or Form 4. And he needed something. I don't know what he needed, but he needed something from my dad. I don't remember properly. He called me. And then I told him, like, you had a chance of telling me that you were my brother and you never did, so why should I help you now? Why should I bother now? I mean, you laid these plans out like the way they are now, so I think you should just continue with whatever plans you're following. And it ended at that. So not to talk about that particular experience with my brother, but it just kind of tells you what my dad knew. Like literally my dad knew both of my sons in that school, but he literally went to this other son and then told him don't let him know. And this one agreed, and my mom knew all along. Like literally my mom, you understand, and she stayed.
Yeah.
So that if I, at the back of my mind, whatever I do with cheating, always has been instilled inside me. I think it's been instilled by the life I have lived. Like, baba kuzaa nje katika maisha ambayo we grew up with, it's something very normal.
Yeah.
And I mean, women, you know, there's that saying, leaving a man because he cheated is like moving a town because it rains. Because it rains everywhere. We grew up with such saying, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty much the core of why men cheat. It's never been part of our society or
To
our
condemn cheating.
To condemn cheating.
Now,
It's just a dark thing. It's just a normal dark thing people do.
Yeah.
If you don't get caught.
Unajua ulichoongea it's very true kwa sababu we've normalized it so much, and then it starts with generations before us.
Yeah.
You know, and I think kila mtu somehow someway anajua labda kama labda sio mzazi wako, lakini unajua mzee ambaye yuko around you ambaye did those things na kuona kama ni normal, so jamii haikushangai wewe kwa kucheat.
Mike, let me just tell you this, huh?
Yeah.
Cheating is cool in our society.
For men.
For men. I mean, look at that guy. That's a nice chick. That is wife now, Mchepuko. We even have cool names to call it.
Yeah.
Nyumba Dogo. Why can't we just call them Hawara? Some nasty names. Why do we have to call them Nyumba Dogo? Why are we watering down the truth? Understand? That's why cheating is happening. I mean, if I have a side chick in public, I'm cool. Especially when she's hot. Where do you think words like that come from? I mean, it's been normalized. That's what I'm saying. If a guy gets employed today, buys a car and builds a house in 6 months, everybody knows he stole. But
Yaani umeajiriwa tu kawaida, umenunua
Normal
nyumba,
job.
umenunua gari, ndani ya miezi 6 umejenga, watu wanajua tu kaiba ya.
no, wasemi ameiba hela.
Amepiga.
Amepiga hela. I don't know if you're understanding what I'm trying to tell you. The wrong acts in our society are being normalized with cool words.
Yeah.
Nobody anakunja also like jamani mwizi, and nobody's disgusted by it. It's a cool thing to do in the society. You get the point.
Yeah, I get the point.
So on the totality of it, I think men cheat because of that. It has not been painted.
That's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
We've basically created an environment that facilitates cheating. I mean, to create very nice environment. We are watering it. We are treating it with love. We are allowing it to grow.
Kwa watu ambao wako kwenye mahusiano, especially wanaume, if hauna relationship nje ya mahusiano yako, watu wengine wanaweza kuwa wanakushangaa. Na watu wakaanza kuona either unamuendekeza mtu wako au umeshikwa sana. Again, tunamshangaa zaidi mtu ambaye yupo kwenye mahusiano anaona mahusiano ya nje, lakini tunampraise yule ambaye yupo kwenye mahusiano anaona mahusiano ya nje.
I remember the longest trip I've ever had. When I finished flying, I was loyal for a very, very long time.
How long?
Long time, like
6 months?
6 months. I'm talking about years. It kind of made me realize how much not cheating is not a normal thing in the society. But I went on a 5-year trip without cheating at all.
And then what happened?
Trust. I lost trust. Something happened where I knew I couldn't trust her. So I think that's why I think I agreed that this cheating is a mental health issue because I experienced it.
And I want to ask you this. Wakati tunaongea mwanzo ulisema kwamba one of the reasons ambapo people cheat, or we're talking about your experience yako, is because you were not afraid of losing the people you were with. You know, most of the time ulikuwa unajua kwamba worst come to worst, watanisamee na mambo mengine tutaendelea kwenye mahusiano. Probably mahusiano hayatakuwa the same, lakini hayatavunjika. Do you think kama ungekuwa na ile fear kwamba if this person finds out what I'm doing is wrong, ataniacha, then probably usinge cheat, or probably people wouldn't cheat?
Well, I will tell you one thing, Michael. With my age and my experience with women, not all women are like that. You should know. I've been with women that they've not said it, but they've positioned themselves that I would know if she catches me, she won't dump my ass. Like literally, there are women that they have limits. They don't say them, but you know them the minute you start being with them.
Yeah.
The minute you start being with them, you're like, ooh. And then there are women that can probably say sorry and she would forgive me. You understand? So it's not to turn this into the women perspective, to the women in women's perspective, but most men cheat because the women they're with allow them. They don't position themselves in the right manner, in the right manner that if you ever cheat, I'm out of here. Men do. Yeah. Men do. Men point it out. They don't tell a woman, but it's known that Kim cheat on a man, he is gonna dump you.
And even if he's cheating already,
it doesn't.
even
It's
with
not
the
the
fathers
same.
that we're talking
It's
about,
not the same.
if your mother were to do the same after knowing what he's doing, and I'm watching.
But then here's the thing, though. And you guys might find it funny, but here's what we were talking with guys the other time. And Washkadi across like it. So look, if my wife cheats on me, and then nika find out, lakini katika mazingira kufind out ambao tukajua hata nikawa mimi, mke wangu na yule mtu wa tatu ambaye yuko involved, probably nitamsamehe mwanamke. Lakini mke wangu akicheat na nikajua watu wanajua, naacha.
It's all about pride.
It came to that. Well, don't you think that's somehow true though?
No, it's not.
Not for everyone.
Not for everyone.
Not for everyone.
Like
I'll put it out my experience, right? I always tell people that ask me this question: what did you do if your wife cheats? What did you do if your girlfriend cheats? I don't know. That's the truth. I don't know. If I think I could ever forgive my girlfriend for cheating, yes, I think I could. The reaction I would have would depend on that particular moment. I might not. Maybe I might not even ask, or because I for a fact, I know I would. Knowing the way I think, I would assess the situation, and I might realize that the reason might be me. So I might understand.
Mara nyingi sana jamii inasema if a man cheats, it's because he wanted to. But if a woman cheats, the man lazima amehusika kumfanya yule mwanamke awe vile. You've heard of such statements, Nadia? What's your take? You get what I'm saying? I
understand.
And you've heard.
I agree.
You agree with that statement?
I agree with that statement 100%.
Nadia, you agree with that too?
I agree with it to an extent. Again, there's unique. We're all different and we're all unique, but in a majority sense, that statement.
I'm speaking.
It's valid.
It's valid.
A man gonna push a woman to cheat.
Well, I know one thing.
There is probably neglect somewhere along the way, because women really are very simple. They want simple things. Okay, they're not simple.
Let me put it from.
Nadia just said women are simple. I'm like,
really? In what perspective?
They're simple in their complicatedness.
Yeah.
No, but when it comes to relationships, when women are not getting their man's full attention, or they're not getting affection, or things are changing, then slowly, and again, as I said earlier, with women, it usually starts with that intellectual or mental stimulation. Women start cheating mentally. They start having conversations with other men. Harmless, innocent conversations. Friendly. which if they're not getting enough from their relationships, those then they compensate or they get it from elsewhere, from these friends. And again, it's not all women, yeah, but it's everyone is quite different. But a lot of the time, that's one of the reasons. It's something is missing from their relationship, and there is someone out there that is filling those gaps. That's what gradually leads to the cheating, which is not always the case with men, but also there are times where also there are things that are missing in their relationship, and there is someone external who goes and fills those gaps.
You heard about the 60-40 rule. In the sense that in most cases you'll never get 100% out of it. You'll never get 100% of everything that you want kwa mtu mmoja. You know? But if you get 60-70%, una bahati. In most cases for men, you have 60-40%. You're gonna go outside to look for the remaining 30 or 40%.
But I think that's also one of the things in our environment that helps to cultivate that culture of cheating. Because it was someone who said there's a 60-40. What makes you feel that you cannot get a full 100% from this partner when we're talking about relationships? What makes you feel that you can only get, your limit is 60, the end?
In the long run, you also give 60.
Yeah. You know?
believe you're receiving 60.
Exactly.
You go look for the 40 somewhere else.
She might go look for the 42.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you,
So-
this is what I would agree with what Nadia is saying is women in retrospect they approached every single day of their lives. I once read somewhere a long time ago, a woman knows if she is or she's not going to sleep with you the first day you
Chris
meet.
Rock said it.
Chris
Chris Rock, yeah.
exactly.
Chris Rock said it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The minute you say, hi, my name is Michael, she travels to the future and back. Whatever happens in the middle depends on what a man does. So if a man cheats and the woman finds out, it kind of takes down her reasons to say no. A woman will, if a woman loves you, she will sleep on the floor with you. She will atakata all temptations because I love my man. Lakini the minute she realizes my man I've given all of this, I've done all of this, I have loved right, I have been there for him, I have opened up, and he still went out and cheated on me. She's a human. It's not like she doesn't have temptations. It's not like all the guys she says no to, she doesn't like. Some of them are richer than you, better looking than you, more romantic than you, but she chose you. So she doesn't like, this one thing men don't understand. Women have cravings just like us. They could look at the guy and like, that is one fine brother, but this is my guy. You understand? She's probably having those mental conversations with somebody in the office, but Michael is my guy. She would avoid you. Women do that. Talk to women. Nadia will help me. Women avoid men they like.
Yeah. When they start sensing where I'm starting to have the emotional level is coming up,
They
they'll
ghost you.
Because they know I'm
Where
not
I'm
about
going.
to take that step. Yeah. So we're
But my brother, the day she realizes who I have done, what reason is she gonna say no?
So basically unasema, and then
If a woman cheats, a man has something to do with it. Kama sio tabia. As she started opening the show, she said kucheat ni tabia. So kuna hiyo, yani kuna kama ni tribal, kuna nini?
Yeah, it's
Kuna tabia,
learned,
yani kuna tabia
yeah.
tu ya ku.
kuna element ya kulearn.
Michael, let me tell you
Kujifunza.
something. Michael, nikwambie kitu kimoja. I don't know, mimi labda hujai kukutana na mwanamke mwizi ukilala na kupigia ndole nini? Afu hata sio la nyingi yani. 50 anachukua 10,000.
I've never been in that situation.
Akija kwako anaondoka na saa. Sometimes they don't even not tell you. Ila if you ever ask them, nilichukua. Ni tabia. Yes, I had this one friend alikuwa na glasi 48. Afu zote hazifanani. He just like to live with glasses from bars. Like it's
Like akienda bar lazima aondoke na glass.
yeah, ataongea na simu uongo mpaka kwenye gari, ataongea akiona mtu na magari na yeye kile glass kwenye gari anarudi anaanza kunywa na chupa. It was his fetish. Ni tabia. Simeelewa?
Yeah.
So yeah, ukiacha kwamba tabia ya mwanamke kwamba anapenda kucheat. Unajua living on the edge, the anxiety, not the anxiety, what you call the adrenaline, the feeling kwamba kuna wanawake wanayo. So do men. Actually men have it worse. Umeelewa? And then women would cheat. They would cheat if ukiacha tabia, they would cheat if a man, if you ukimfanyia ujinga anaweza kukupunish.
But like, do you think it's easy to say, hey man, I'm done, we're out, kila mtu endelee na maisha yake, kuliko to start the whole cheating thing and then hunting and then
I think
unaishi kwa kuindana huko ndani, relationship is not the same. I'm not looking at Nadia the same, Nadia is not looking at me the same. Lakini we both know there's an issue here. You know, things are not the same, like nobody wants to talk about it. Kwa naenda tu tunaipeleka uhusiano hivyo.
I agree with
it's
you.
It's too much work.
I agree with you, Michael. Lakini what you don't know, what you don't realize is when they realize you cheated, it doesn't make them stop loving you.
But let me ask you, this is...
Did you hear what I told you?
Yeah, but it comes back to the standards that have been set.
Yeah. Nandoyo, going back to that, what you were saying, 60-40. Because it's prominent in society, I'm sure almost all people have heard that you're not going to get everything you want from one person. Which again is a lie. I want to repeat it. Man, you can. I work with couples to teach them how to have a relationship outside of just romance. Kwa sababu in a relationship, you grow in a relationship, and then there's a point. All relationships, hamna hata relationship moja ambayo it's perfect. There's always turbulences, there's always mountains, there's setbacks, mambo yote. Lakini it boils down to, do we want to work on it? And am I going to just accept kwamba, okay, in this relationship I'm just going to get 40%, I'm getting 60. Slide. And this is why people stay, because they're like, I won't get 100% from this anyway, so I might as well remain in this safe, secure relationship, because again, relationships provide safety. I don't have to go out there. For women, biological clock, tick 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 vina tick. Women would rather sit with you and just hope that one day you're going to marry them or stay in that marriage, because again, there's stigma when you're divorced. Especially for a woman. And then that biological clock. So you're in a relationship with this guy, and after 2-3 years he cheats. 2-3 years of investing your time and energy into this guy. A woman will not just walk away because of that biological clock that is also ticking, and the pressure from society, kuolewa and God knows what na kuzaa. So there's a lot of factors that are coming in play when it comes to why people stick to relationships. Exactly. Na kuna watoto. Sasa wengine walikuwa
nifanyeje watoto wangu bado wadogo?
Exactly.
And that's why our mothers stayed. A lot of our mothers.
Yeah.
Actually, our mothers stayed for us. I know, because I know for a fact my mom stayed. Like for me, like literally for me. My mom left. It's a good thing we're using fake name.
Yeah. Talk your shit, John.
My mom left for a year. She literally, when I was standard 6, she left. She got tired of the bullshit and she just up and left. Kabisa. And she started planning it slowly, packed up. She packed and brought the things in my room. Like, put in the bag, take in my room. Put in the bag, take in my room.
When she left, did she live with you?
No,
she left.
I'm my dad's son. Like, she was going to her parents.
She yeye kwa babake, kwacha kwa babake.
Come to the babake.
You have to provide the babake.
Na kupeleka wapi?
Kupeleka kana babako.
No, she literally she what Nadia is saying is true, kwa sababu when my mom was leaving, she started kuchonga kitanda in secret. Kuchonga kabati.
Like she made a plan.
She planned. She knew I had enough of this food. So she planned. And at that time, mind you, mini last born kwa kwake. So I know I was the priority. I was in standard 5, standard 4 when she started planning. The whole of standard 5 she was planning. The plan was right. She was at home, 4 o'clock in the evening. There's this lorry reversing in our driveway. What's going on? They're just taking this stuff. And then she just pop up. And then in the lorry, there's a bed and kabati. Then she went in my room, picked up bags, and her room picked up her stuff, whatever she needed, the basic stuff, and she was like, we'll talk.
I'm out.
I'm out. Peace. You know what I mean? It's not like I was. The rest was surprised. I knew, because she'd been planning. So 1 year off the road, she came back. She came back. When she got back, she told me that she came back for me.
How did that weigh on you, knowing kwamba mama amerudi nyumbani kwa ajili yangu?
At that time,
did it weigh on you?
It didn't. It didn't then, because nilikuwa napata kipaimara that December. So can you remember, hey, amekuja because of it. And then later, it kind of clicked. Going into standard 7, going into form 1, it kind of clicked, because it would come a time kulipa ada, and my dad would tell me mwambie mama yako akupe. You understand?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so this is why she came back. Back to the topic. Women do stay for the children.
And then this is what I wanted to ask you that. With that experience, how you've seen her, maisha yake ya ndoa alivyokuwa, and how you've seen your father alivyokuwa anamtreatia na nini, has that made you, how has that impacted you on how you treat women now? Because
Before
my take is on two things. You love and you respect your mother. You know, you love and you respect your
everybody
mother.
does.
Yeah. But also, the fact that she stayed, she came back, she stayed. You look at your father, you're like, okay, maybe this is. Does it give you like some sort of a feeling of, so maybe this is how you treat women now?
No.
And then you embark on that cheating journey.
No, that's a very wide question when it comes to me, Michael. But I will tell you one thing. I want this to be put. Don't ever cut what I'm gonna say next out. All right. My father was the coolest guy in the world. It's just that in this particular topic, I have to reflect on some of his mishaps.
Yeah.
But if this was a father's show, I have a lot of good things. A lot of good things I could say about the nigga. He has taught me things that I didn't realize until some of them I'm learning now. You know what I mean? I'll say one as a joke. I'll just say one as a joke. My dad used to drink. When there was a time my dad used to drink, he would go out bars and he would drink, and nigga would fight. You see those boxing gloves in there? That's from him.
The boxing gloves you have in your car.
Yeah, I have in my car. That's from him. Nigga would fight. He would fight the whole bar out. You know what I mean?
Ngumi kabisa.
Kabisa yani. And he would fight. And he would, not like I admired that he fighting, but I know he had a fighting spirit inside. You know what I mean? To his last breath, nigga never gave up. Some things went wrong in life, business-wise, what. I would not be able to do what he did. I ask God, like, if things ever go wrong like the way they went wrong for him, would I be able to stick it out and be as strong as he was? Because he was strong. He kept the family together. Like, there are some things I'm trying to do in life, and I wonder, how did that guy do it? I think everybody got the point. So the way I treat women right now
has nothing to do with him, you think?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
No. I don't. If I ever cheated, it was never by the effect of how my dad treated my mom when it comes to women and cheating and all that. Like I said, it's a habit. Like she said, it's a habit. Sometimes it's a trophy. I don't know.
It is, because, and you
sometimes
said it's a trophy because
it's like,
you know,
I like, let's just say I like slender women. How many slender women are out there?
a lot.
Exactly.
But this is the thing.
Some people like big asses. How many big asses are there?
A lot.
And men are trophy hunters by nature.
And
So it kind of explains.
Na ndio maana nataka tuzungumzie impact ya what we call toxic masculinity. You know, katika vitu ambavyo wanaume, like we've said it already when discussion, kwamba katika vitu ambavyo wanaume tumenormalize is the fact of having multiple partners. You know? Yani it's ni kitu ambacho tumekinormalize, tumekisifia, na imeonekana kwamba is the best thing to do or is the way to go. And like you said earlier, pia tumeipa cool names. Mechi za mchangani. You know, like uwezo kwa unacheza tu mechi Old Trafford, uwanja mkubwa Manchester United, mara moja nenda akacheza mechi za mchangani. Practice. And we've given it so much names kiasi kwamba right now when we start and then because and mostly wanaume ndio tumezipa haya majina. Wanaume ndio tumenormalize hichi kitu na ndio maana wanaume tunaitwa men are trash. Sometimes nakubaliana hicho kitu kwa sababu sisi ndio tuna praise easy habits.
Let me say something, and one question will be to Nadia because she's the expert. For me personally, and I think this is the core of the show. For me personally, it's the mind, it's the conversation. Somebody once asked me like, yo, why it's a nice lady, why you don't? I told her because she's not smart enough. So why do you care? I told him she's not smart enough. I'll just sleep with her and dump her. He never understood. But if somebody is not smart up here,
Upstairs,
if I cannot have a conversation which is strong, which is what a lot of women are experiencing. If a woman doesn't have a mental connection with a man, then the man is having sex with you. He will not have anything to do with you after sex. That's why men ghost a lot of women after sex. This is one thing people don't understand. At least for me, it's a mindset. Okay, some people like the bimbos, the non-intellectual ones,
and it works for them.
It works for them.
It's
We
cool
can
for
just
them.
do what I want to do with you, and because some men, if they talk to you and they realize you're smart, then they feel sorry. That's I think I pointed out to you that I could actually have a woman with me the whole night, not have physical interaction, no sex, no nothing. Wake up in the morning, I'm the happiest man ever, just for the experience. That's what I meant. I'm speaking my perspective.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
My perspective. I've owned 2 bars in my life, Michael. You know that. One of them was in the counter. My first bar was in the counter. It was like almost like a gentleman's bar because 80%, 90% of my clients were men. And the most comfortable place in the bar was the counter. So people just come up and would talk, and I would listen to their conversations. And most men, to what I heard while I was in the bar, like or in conversations, most men cheat not because they don't love their women, not like they don't love their families, not like they don't love their children, or they don't. It's just, I guess it's just weakness.
Nadia, what says you on that one?
That's why I say the second question she could actually add more. It's just men are weak. And I think instead of the first thing before calling them bad names so they would stop, we would actually call it what it is. It's just weakness.
Nadia, you want to say something?
Yeah, so if we go back to evolution and all of that, women, evolutionarily, you look for one partner who can ensure your safety. Because also, ukiangalia, men have countless sperms. You stop. Is there a point where you stop producing sperms?
I don't
like
think
even in old age, men are still able to inseminate and get someone pregnant.
Yeah,
Women have a limited number.
Because there's no storage for them.
Yeah.
They're made on the process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Women have a set number of eggs. Zikiisha zimeisha. There's an age where it's a cutoff. They cannot have kids again.
Mm-hmm.
Biologically, when we look at that is a fine biological reason for perhaps, or explanation for why men would cheat more compared to women. Second, it's that finding the viable partners, and also making sure that your lineage lives on. So the more women I impregnate, the higher the chances of my bloodline progressing into the future, if we're looking at it from the evolutionary biological standpoint. And so those drives are innate. They're in there. But I'll come back to what John said. It also falls on are you strong enough? Are you strong enough to forego these natural innate instincts? Because women have these sexual drives and urges. And they vary between women and men. Kwa sababu ya experiences, the environment, evolutionary, our biologies, all of that is gonna contribute without us knowing. They play a role. So it all, again, boils down to what John said. That willpower to forego these temptations. And so far, according to a lot of what we're seeing, is a lot of men give into these temptations. So it's easier to give into these temptations. I cannot speak for all the women. Someone needs to do research so we can have proper, because no research, no right to speak.
Yeah, no research, no right to speak. True.
But when we look at it from that angle, there's so many factors that can contribute, or that do contribute to people cheating. From environmental, biological, cultural, societal, kuna mambo mengi. So, but I think what would curb or what would kill that habit or that behavior of cheating is strengthening our willpower for men, as women, anyone who has fallen into that temptation, because it is a temptation. It's like giving into your temptations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's formulating or strengthening your willpower to say no, that I already have a good thing going on, because there it's mainly I have a good thing, I want a great thing, I want as many good things. No one wants bad things. Yeah, and if I can get 5 good things, all the more better.
Yeah.
I mean, the more the merrier, so it comes to just training ourselves to be able to resist these temptations and to forego our natural instincts. Humans were not built for monogamy. Humans were built for polygamy.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Are we one of the reasons in kwamba je, is monogamy a little bit too much for us? Yani swala wanaume na monogamy na kutulia na partner moja na nini,
I don't think it's too
ni
much.
kitu ambacho kinatushinda tulio wengi.
I don't think it's too much for us. It's just it's
Is
the
it
choices.
It's the choices. And then the other thing, Michael, hatuna consequence. Mimi naamini kama tungekuwa tuna bana Freddy mke wake amemwacha nini, jamaa alikuwa na mchepuko. If we hear 15 of our friends facing that, I wouldn't go cheat.
Yeah.
But we don't have consequences
To those actions.
Is two different stories ambazo tunasikia. Like we would just nigga is stuck. What happened? He got caught doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's been going on at 7 for the last 2 months. Bado hajasamehewa. You know what I mean? Like it takes a couple months and then you're forgiven. Lakini hakuna and I'm not saying I want to be breaking up relationships or anything like that, but we don't have consequences to the actions that we men take that it keeps on supporting us to continue. That's all.
It's
like
it all boils down
I
to
say,
people,
it's the value. Like women don't know how to place their value. And let me just say this, all right? Let me just say this. I'm not an expert cheater. There's no being good or being bad at cheating. It's just cheating.
Yeah.
The only difference between me and any other man out there is I'm the one saying what happens. And I'm not saying that when I do it, it's right. And I'm not saying that I'm proud of it. And I'm not saying that I encourage anybody to do it. Every time I cheat, it goes away with a piece of my soul.
And sometimes it costs your relationship.
It costs me relationship. It costs me my inner peace. It's not a good feeling. It's not, especially.
It is a lot of work cheating.
You think
too
work
much
is
work.
hard?
Try cheating.
Where?
Hey, it's too much work.
It's like, it's not a good thing. And I don't think anybody should really, really, really cheat. It shouldn't happen. The fact that I am doing it, or the fact that I have done it before, it's not something I'm proud of. And maybe me here saying it is me trying to help other people not make the mistake that I have made in my past life.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to say also. I think men should hold each other accountable when it comes to cheating. Both for you and Nadia, should men hold each other accountable more? Should we not? How can we make it look how can we make it look not cool? Kama unavyoita ufisadi, utakatishaji fedha, should we do more of that when it comes to cheating? Will that help a little bit? Na vile seko ya watu ambao tunakaa nayo ambayo tunaona na glorify cheating na vitu kama hivyo, what can we do as men to hold each other more accountable when it comes to this thing?
Well, first nadhani inabidi ianze na mtu mwenyewe binafsi, because if imagine I am cheating and I am just getting there are no consequences to my actions, yeah, and I don't see any problem with my cheating, there's no reason for me to stop. Sawa, inabidi ianze na mimi niamua kwamba okay, what I'm doing, tabia yangu mimi mwenyewe haijanikalia sawa, yeah, it doesn't feel good. Or for you, for personally, to make that conscious decision kwamba okay, I've done this, but you know, it's a violation of trust ya mwenzio, also trust ya kwako. Because when you enter a relationship, you're not just making a commitment to the other person, you're making a commitment to yourself to commit to the other person. As when you're cheating, you're breaking those commitments to yourself as well, and so inavunja also your personal perception of yourself. Mwenyewe unajionaje, unajiangaliaje, nafsi yako. Because when it comes to cheating, there's lying involved, there's covering your tracks, there's a lot of things that you're needing to do. Your own conscience eats at you. So unaweza, no one knows, but personally wewe mwenyewe, your conscience will torture you every waking day. Will even ruin that sex life you're having with this mchepuko. Personally, inabidi mtu mwenyewe aanze angalie, what do I want to risk? Because when it comes to cheating, it's fun, it's easy, no one's catching me, blah blah blah. But what is the and forget about your spouse, your girlfriend. Forget about the other person. Think about yourself. What are you costing yourself when you cheat? You know, great. Hold each other accountable. Yeah, inabidi wote we start calling it what it is. As John said, rather than saying huyu ni mchepuko wako, muite huyu hawara wake, or you're, you know, just call it what it is. You're cheating, XYZ, etc. So let's stop using these words that glorify or that gloss over, sugarcoat this bad behavior. Also, tukumbushane kwamba okay, let's break also that norm, that whole 60-40 norm that we're putting out there. Because wengi, we say it, but wengi pia also strongly believe and live on that principle. You know, and that principle kind of gives you leeway to say, okay, but see, if you can get the 40 from this person as well, go get it elsewhere. So it all boils down to wewe mwenyewe personally. What are you justifying? What do you want to live with?
What do you stand for?
What do you want to stand for? Yeah. And also maybe to the women who are listening, we need to have stronger boundaries where you can establish that. If you're okay with your man cheating on you, it can be a conversation you have. You know, I'm okay with you having someone elsewhere. If I cannot satisfy you XYZ, do it. Give them the consent. Kama una uwezo wa kufanya hivyo. And if you condone the cheat, because when I say condone, I mean if you find out your partner is cheating, your husband is cheating, but you do not do anything about it, you continue living with them, you continue, you basically you forgive and allow the behavior to happen, then bora have the conversation, say, you know what, tusipeane headache, Mr. Gonna kupambana huko kuanza kusoma message zako o nini. If you feel I'm not giving you XYZ and you can get it from elsewhere, nijulishe.
We are not going to break up, but I'm going to let you.
It takes a very strong woman to be able to deal with that. You know, but also start holding your men, holding yourselves accountable.
Yeah.
Because when someone cheats, deal for men, maybe it's there doesn't need to be a lot of reasons, but there also is a reason. A man is a human as well. So men and women are not that different. You know, labda men are really great at covering their emotions and when they are hurt and when they feel something's missing. Yeah, but it also happens for men. Men too, there are things that they're missing from their relationships, they're not getting, that makes it even easier to give into those temptations. So it's not just women, you know, and so we need to start looking at ourselves as well, looking at your relationships. What is lacking? When you see kwamba wewe, for you it's so easy to give into temptations, there must be something that you're missing, or there is something that's happened, you know. There's always an underlying cause, 90% of the time. When you start noticing that, rather than continuing, angalia, okay, what's making it so easy for me to just move this direction? I would like to believe that men are not that weak.
No, we're not. No, you know.
You
And
know,
also
so-
another thing somebody told me is for men to also know that not every woman is worth your body. That is something ambacho kama ambavyo wanawake wanaambiwa kwamba sio kila mtu anastahili kupata fursa kwenye mwili wako. It's for men too.
As well.
For men as well to know kwamba sio kila mtu au sio kila mdada anastahili, you know, kupata huo mwili wako. So wanaume pia tujivalue pia kidogo.
Exactly. I mean,
You
your
know?
energy is also, you're using a lot of your energy when you're pursuing, when you're hunting, when you're pursuing, when you're there, you're using energy.
Keeping up.
And keeping up with all of that.
Oh.
A lot of energy, which you could be building an empire
All I'm gonna say
or
is
something. I don't know.
all I'm
Building
gonna
a
say
family.
is getting to the parking lot of your house, starting deleting messages, deleting pictures, blocking a few numbers, and then going inside.
And then kesho one block is
I had a friend. Kesho you have to do the process all over
Yeah.
again. I had a friend who had 2 SIM cards, so he would get home. His network, let's say, is commercial ad, Tigo. He would get home, take out his original line, put the fake Tigo line, put the phone on the table. The woman will never call the number siniko hapa nakupigiaje wakati uko hapa.
Yeah.
But the phone is on on the table na haiti. But literally he's not reachable.
Literally, yeah.
Literally he's not reachable.
Kesho yake asubuhi.
Anarudishia line.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's all.
And another thing, you will always get caught.
Yeah, the thing about cheating. That's
I
the
think
thing. That's the thing.
It might take
the,
years,
the thing about
but
cheating.
you will get caught.
The thing about cheating, Michael. I'm spiritual.
Yeah.
Very. Women have an habit of knowing when you're cheating. They just can't prove it.
Like an instinct.
They know. My woman once told me, if she hears this, she gonna know it's me. She once told me, like, I don't touch your phone not because I trust you. I don't touch your phone because I love you. Because I know if I touch that shit, man, you are over. I didn't have anything on my phone. I'm saying, like I said, keeping up is hard. I was doing all that. I was deleting. I would get slappy sometimes and just be like, shit, it chats the footer. You understand? But she didn't touch my phone, and she told me, like, I don't touch it. No, that coming from a person you love, you know, it kind of cuts across your soul like a sword. You know, like, what am I doing? You know. But then again, this is, how long is this show? Because this is
We're about to wind the. We are winding.
we just scratched the surface, Michael. I'll tell you something, Michael. You married, you walk around with a ring and all that. Tell me the truth. If me and you go for a girl right now, you with a ring and I without a ring in Dar es Salaam, who do you think is gonna score?
I don't know. You tell me.
My brother, you gonna score because of that ring.
Because if you were good enough for someone to marry you,
Women,
you can
right
erase
now,
that.
which is trending. Women with married men, they get all the perks of a boyfriend. Married men compensate their unavailability of time with cash, and they get all the perks of a single person because you have to go home at 6 o'clock in the evening. Sometimes men cheat to punish their partners. Sometimes a man would have an argument with his partner, his wife, and whatever, and then he would get to the car and call his side chick
Instead of solving the problem with the partner.
Yeah. Sometimes men cheat because it gives them power. It gives them a sense of being in control. It's not like, apart from being a game, but it's kind of it's a masculine thing for them to be able to have multiple women. Like, they feel more of a man when they have more women in their lives. Na madem wengi. You know
Back
what
to
I mean?
that stereotypical male.
Yeah. Sometimes, which is now this, our age, Michael. You married. How many people for? Like, you know what I mean? I have seen a lot of our friends are married right now. And those that cheat, you meet a friend. Hey, what's up? This is Nadia. This is my wife. You know, my wife is my wife's a lawyer. Or you meet somebody that would introduce the wife and give you her position. Introduce the wife, give you the position, who her dad is. You know what I mean? So people have trophy wives. They marry wives for things, not for the person.
Good.
I had a neighbor once. alipigwa na chupa ya ketchup. Unajua ketchup? American Garden. Kichwani. That guy, God bless him wherever he is. Alipigwa na chupa ya ketchup kichwani. I was there, tumetenganishwa na ukuta, we're living in an apartment, so I could hear all the rackers like Tom and Jerry, you know? You know? And then I was like, yo, you dude, it's 9:06, what you guys doing? This woman was holding a ketchup bottle and this other guy was bleeding from the side. I'm like, and then the woman gets out of the house, starts walking to her parents' house, and then the guy is walking behind her. And then she would get pissed off in the middle of the road. She would turn, they have a car, but they're walking. She would turn back and hit him again, and I followed them for a few meters, went back home, pulled my shuka and kalala, and then the guy goes to the parents' house, and then his mother-in-law is the one who's stitching his head up because she was a nurse. And this guy, I remember correctly that whenever I had a conversation with him about his wife, he would emphasize his wife is a lawyer every after 5 minutes. He had the need of emphasizing. So I figured maybe it was the job that. And then the other problem that I think is like lack of the inability to communicate with kwenye mahusiano. Some men cheat because of some things that are being done to them by the side women. You know, they may be in bed. You ask somebody, so what's that? Click them chunk, click cheese, you need cheese, no, you understand? So the inability of telling your wife what you want intimately, or what you're doing that is making me similar. I don't know, I'm looking for an example off the top of my head. Labda nikifika nyumbani kuna
people cannot communicate.
People can't communicate.
People
you
can
know?
communication.
Their needs.
Yeah,
Their
I'm
needs.
trying. Yeah, they can't communicate. I'm trying to look for a good example so that people may understand. Labda nikifika nyumbani mke amevaa dera, kafunga kitambaa fulani nini.
And you don't like it. You can't, but you can't say it.
You umeelewa?
Or you can't say it vizuri.
Mchepuko amevaa something sexy and entice him like similar.
But
why can't you just tell, you know what, I would want you to do. Communication is the problem.
And I think in most cases is not even issue of communication, it's the fact of how we say things. You know, it's not communicating, but rather it's how we say things, or how we trying to see things, or how we address things. So sometimes jinsi tunavyo address vitu badala ya kutafuta solution una add moto kwenye ile situation, and then it makes matters worse. Na then wanaume tulivyo mabingwa wa kutokuwa na conversation, na tulivyo mabingwa wa kuficha hisia zetu, tuna opt for nini unajua? I'd rather find a woman who's doing the things that my wife is not doing, or my partner is not doing, and that just makes things worse. And one of the things that I think we as men need to do is we need to learn how to have difficult conversations. We need to.
Yeah, we run away from them most of the time.
My guy, we need to. Otherwise it's gonna be disaster. And we are never gonna break the cycle.
Yeah, it's gonna
You
continue.
know what I mean?
Because if you can't communicate your needs, let's say this mchepuko, you get too comfortable and maybe your wife or your girlfriend leaves you, and then naturally you fall into a relationship with this person.
You
If it's
probably
ongoing.
you did not want a relationship
Yes.
with, permanent relationship with.
And this person was enticing you, dressing sexy, doing nice things because they were trying to get you.
Yeah.
And now they're comfortable. They start wearing deras and do-rags.
And durags.
and now you're back to square one. You cannot communicate your needs. So it really does boil down to communicating. What are your preferences? What do you need? What turns you on? What turns your partner
What is
on?
a no-no?
What is a no-go
What is a
zone?
no-go zone? Like,
Yeah.
yo, you know what? I remember I had a friend who told his wife, Kabisa, don't ever gain weight. We thought it was harsh. We thought it was harsh. We really thought it was harsh. But you know what he said? He said, I can promise you, I'll stay the same if you do. I have a thing about your body size. Please, if you ever gain weight on me, I'm not saying I will leave you, but I
But
can
it's gonna be
promise.
difficult.
And that's important to
It is.
communicate. I mean, it's his personal preference.
So what we would work in together. I normally joke around with people who have kids after 4 years. It's like, why don't you just 1, 2, 3, 4,
And then
take
get
a
to
back
the gym. Go to the gym.
Why do
Gym
you wanna?
Man.
Why do you want to make this woman go through labor? Go to the gym. 2 years, you knock her up again.
Go to the gym.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
It's just a joke.
Work out together.
When you are gaining
Walk
weight,
together.
because
I don't know.
maternity does bring weight.
Yeah.
Okay, when that comes, we can still talk about.
Back to as we're winding up.
And you
Back
can
to
work towards returning that body
Yeah.
that you love and you prefer.
All right.
So I give you an example as we winding up. A friend of
We're
mine,
talking about that
alikuwa na girlfriend wake, and then he was having an affair with another woman. So this other woman alikuwa ikikaa namfia anasemaje, this is like the coolest girl ever, super understanding, freaky, freak or whatever. You know, she was all that. And then he broke up with a girlfriend. So akaona the thing is ni kumupgrade huyo alikuwa a side chick into a girlfriend. Fast forward 5 months later, he started complaining about the same thing he used to complain about the previous woman. You get it? The same thing. Nakaambia, when this chick was a side chick, she was proper, hana matatizo. Now all of a sudden amekuwa girlfriend, nimerudi pale pale. Ikaja pale pale chokuwa nasema Nadia kwamba she was proper because she wasn't alikuwa anajua she has limited time with you. She would do anything that you want to please you. But now that tumekaa na muda wote umekuwa fully committed, she has nothing more to lose.
And it also goes both ways. You're a very different man
Yes.
when you're chasing and when you're trying to get what you want compared to when you've gotten what you want or what you wanted and you're now relaxed.
Yeah.
So it works both ways, that this person is trying to please you and so they're giving you what it looks like you want, whether you've communicated it or not. They're always trying to look for what turns this person on, what excites them, what do they like? And that's what they try to give you. Because they're, again, if a woman, whether they know that you're cheating on someone with them or they don't, any relationship as it's starting, we're all trying to please one another so we can secure this relationship.
So yeah, it has been a very long conversation about cheating and why men cheat.
Before you close it, Mike, I just want to point out, I don't think it's not a remedy. Like I said, we have spoken for so long, and I believe we have not even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
This is
There's a lot to unpack.
way. People get married to the wrong people, knowing they are wrong people, and they do it because
Kuna factors.
nitachepuka. It is advice. I'm not married. You hang out with me, just know that the things you're gonna pick off of me are not gonna be good for your marriage. I'm just saying.
It's true.
Married men should hang out with married men. You hang with a single person, you're gonna pick up some awful habits. So we need to have, if this is gonna change, it has to start with one person, and that person has to influence the next person to him. If I know I don't cheat, I should encourage my brothers and my fellow friends not to cheat as well. You know what I mean? If you don't become a cheater, don't hang out with people that cheat. It's very easy to contract bad habits, to copy bad habits than to copy good ones. Find an upright brother, make him your friend. If we can be accountable to each other, if we can tell each other it's wrong, if we can stop condoning, check your mind up, kuchukua dem pale, kaita kuchukua number, if we like, yo, I know Jackie, bra.
Stay home.
Don't do it or wait until I go. Boldly. I know
Don't do it in front of me.
Don't do it in front of me. I see Jackie, I'm gonna nitakwambia, and like literally, if we would create that kind of habit, maybe we have a chance in changing this. But so far,
Cheating.
it's been blessed by very colorful words.
No, I think it's just that assessing perhaps what you want your life to look like and what your life means to you, because cheating is a choice. Yes, there are those natural drives and instincts, but at the end of the day, you make the choice to hunt. You make the choice to cheat. You know, communication is important. If you're in a relationship, whatever kind of relationship, communicate your needs. Because when we talk about cheating, whether you're cheating for emotional reasons, whether you're cheating for physical reasons, communicate that. If you're cheating for physical reasons, if your wife or your girlfriend is not giving you what you want physically, communicate that to see. Can they provide? Because muda mwingine hata ujui if this person would like to do the Kama Sutra and try the whole book out with you.
Yeah.
You just assume that this person won't, so let me find Mchepuko who will. So rather communicate early, know each other's preferences. When you find that your partner is retracting or going back on what you've agreed on, that this is what we want our relationship to look like, hold each other accountable. Even in relationships, inabidi hold each other accountable. Hold your partner accountable, your partner has to hold you accountable. And as friends, as John says, be each other's accountability persons. Or pick a friend who you can tell that straight up, I have this problem. Like, I have no self-control when it comes to women. So whenever you see me straying, help me. There's no problem in asking for help.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
No problem at all. And what's come to us, Nadia anafanya couples therapy. If you feel like you and your partner, you need some help, go seek a therapist. Try to go seek a therapist. Nenda kwenye therapy stations.
Yeah.
Jaribu ku mend your relationship. Nadia anafanya hivyo vitu. Now you can catch her on Mind Matters on Twitter and Mind Matters on Instagram, ambapo ukifika kwenye hizo pages, kwenye bio kuna link itakupeleka moja kwa moja kwenye website yake, and then you'll find a million ways za kuweza kuwasiliana naye.
But disclaimer, don't seek couples therapy when you know for a fact you don't even want to work on the relationship.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu kazi kubwa in couples therapy is I give you exercises, I do assessments to see where are the gaps in your relationships. But mwisho wa siku wewe na mwenza wako ndo mnafanya kazi ya kumend that relationship. Rebuild that relationship. And build habits and build bonds that will keep your relationship going. So watu wengi wanaenda for couples therapy so that the therapist can say, you know what, you two, it's not going to work. Wanatafuta sababu, wanatafuta sababu kusema, you know what, let's just split.
Yeah.
And that's not why people go. Well, that's not a reason you should go. That's wasting your money. If you already know me now at Aviendani, it's never going to work. Don't waste your money and your time. Just end it.
But if you really want to make it work,
then go see someone.
Yeah, that's it. Hini Men, the podcast. Nadia, thank you for that proper advice that you gave out. John?
Yeah, I just want to say that we forgot to say that if you cheat, you can get AIDS. Just to put it out there, we forgot that one.
STDs, not only
STDs.
Yeah.
This is how you get infected, people.
Mimba.
Yes,
Unexpected.
We forgot to state the obvious.
Yes.
You cheat, you could die.
Yeah. Na pia ukikamatwa kazi ya kusort issues ni kubwa mno. So yeah, thank you for listening. This is Men, the podcast. We are done for today. Till next time, we are out.
Men, the podcast.